So let's go over some of these crashes.
Today's episode
in close calls.
That proves the road can be full of surprises.
See what we got here.
Can be
All right.
predicted.
Having my GPS on the handlebars, that's how I like to do it. Okay, we got a right turn only coming up. The car's coming up kind of close. Nice little escape. Oh, that's a big fear. All right, we're going to go over just a little bit. With this is why you need to have that 360 situational awareness. So it's one thing slowing down and stopping, going into an escape a little bit. It's another thing to be like, hey, I'm coming to a quick stop. What's my mirrors? What's in my mirrors? Okay, what do we got? We got more? Okay, we're just gonna go over this part right here. We don't need to have all the extra. So we're coming up to here. So what I was trying to say is 360 situational awareness, because we're coming to a hard stop. Maybe the person behind me doesn't realize it either, because if I already failed to like maintain my space cushion and now I have to make an escape a little bit and put myself in a different position for safety, which I think it is like off to the right, hoping the person behind me is going to stop too. So there's that cascading of crashes. Typically at intersections, you'll see somebody in the front stopping really hard, right? Boom, they stopped. They made it before the red light because they were barely paying attention, but the person behind them was riding or driving along with them, kind of like in a group ride. They weren't driving their own drive, riding their own ride. And they see all of a sudden they stop. So they barely stop. They don't hit. They get super close. They don't hit. And then the person behind that person, the third person, just doesn't have enough reaction time. Hits the middle person. The middle person hits the person in front. We tend to see that on a lot of motor vehicle accidents where it's a 3-vehicle accident. Small fender bender in the front. Middle car gets squished. Back car is the one that hit everybody pretty hard. And so knowing that and seeing a bunch of those crashes, whenever I come up to a stop sign or a stoplight and maybe I wasn't paying attention or somebody in front of me hard stopped when I thought they were going to go through the yellow, right? I'm now concerned. Hopefully nobody's behind me that is like super close on me, because they're going to hit me. And so if I'm ever riding and that's ever the situation and I have to do that, I'm going to swerve into the shoulder in this situation or off to the right, because if that car behind me doesn't stop, they're going to hit the car, not me. So hopefully that made sense, but that's kind of what happened here. So we're coming up to here. So there's the space cushion. Look at the space cushion. It's pretty good. Okay, we have a pretty big space cushion. We know we have to turn right. It's a right turn only.
It can be full of surprises and not.
See how the car is getting bigger? It's because we're getting closer. See how you're getting closer to my hand? It's because the hand's getting bigger, so you're getting closer, So we're gonna get closer, we're gonna get closer. It's like, oh crap, I'm not gonna be able to stop in time. They just slammed the brakes pretty hard. They slammed the person in front of us. So he went off to a position for safety, and this is what I like. It's a good position for safety off to the sides, right? Because if we have to, we can escape in our lane. But if at this point, I'm doing quick glances. I'm like, oh crap, my mirror. That car behind me is getting bigger and bigger and bigger because they're getting closer. I don't think they're gonna stop in time. I'm going to get off the road, because then hopefully they hit them, not me. So that's kind of, I'm just trying to explain what happened here, but this is kind of one of the solutions. So normally this is a great position for safety. Hopefully the other car would do that, but they didn't. They just slammed the brakes and kept sliding into us. If you see somebody in your mirrors getting closer and closer, emergency accelerate into your escape. Get ahead. I'd get up to here and stop. Emergency accelerate. Remember, 3 things: emergency accelerate, emergency brake, emergency swerves, to get ourselves out of a bad situation and navigate those active threats. So always be aware. 360 situational awareness, not just what's in front of you to the sides. Check your mirrors. That's why I don't like it when motorcycle riders don't have their mirrors. Because that car behind him wasn't paying attention. Boom, hit. Because everyone stopped way too suddenly.
Chill for a minute. Okay, thank you. I'm so sorry. Do you need me to call 911?
So it's a mistake. It's a mistake, but it doesn't solve the problem that we just got into a collision and I possibly have back pain, and hopefully you have insurance. Tupac. All right, here we go. All right, so we're riding. We have the music pop on because of Motostars. Oh, a rear end accident. So kind of the same thing that we just discussed, but it's another motorcycle rider doing that to us. Okay, so high impact. This is why we wear full gear. as smart riders. As smart riders will wear full gear, acquire and use personal protective equipment, because if we fall down and hit our head like this, or hit our back, or hit our shoulders, anything, that we are protected. Okay? So, yeah, he's not protected. All right, we need a thumbnail. Green screen. Rubber ducky. Not the one. All right, here we go. We're riding. Okay, we we shared the lane there, barely switched over. We're kind of weaving in and out of traffic at a higher flow of traffic. What did we see there? What was that? Write it in the comments. Did you see it? What pattern? That's what I'm trying to get at. What pattern? What's this? What's this? No gear, 2 hog rider. You're right. What's this, everybody? So we talk about this in the new book that is on pre-order right now. It's part of the plan method when I'm discussing how to use the plan method in the neighborhood. That's chapter 6, and then chapter 7, we're actually riding on from the neighborhood to a parking lot to practice some smart rider practice drills and the motorcycle skills test. It's for pre-order right now. You get a lot of bonuses. Link in description. There's a 10% off discount for that right now. But I discussed this. This is called exactly Hog Rider. Colin Clark. Shmee, everybody. This is an open lane pattern. I discussed some patterns, side of the vehicle, open lane pattern, some blind spot stuff, the things that we have to watch out for. So this is called an open lane pattern. It doesn't look like much, does it? Not right here. But this is that mental image I want you to have in your head, because why did we switch lanes? Why did we switch to this open lane over here? Why did we switch over there? Because this lane is going too slow for us. Yes, we were kind of going in and out of traffic, right? We're weaving around. We didn't want to be in that lane over on the right anymore. We went to the open lane. We don't want to be in this lane anymore. We're going to go to the open lane. Other car drivers do this because they want to go into a lane that doesn't have anybody in front of them. We're doing the same thing. That truck right there wants to go into this open lane too. Now, if we're going higher than the flow of traffic, like much higher, not like just kind of cruising 1 or 2 miles an hour faster than the flow of traffic, but we're going 10, 15, 20 miles an hour faster than the flow of traffic, these car drivers will not see us. Okay, there's something called inattentional blindness. Okay, inattentional blindness is when somebody doesn't even recognize, their brain doesn't even recognize that there's a motorcycle rider on the road, because 95% of the people on the road are cars. So the brain literally shuts off that last 5%. And it's like, I'm not looking for car or motorcycle riders because, there's not many of them on there. So the brain literally shuts it off for their eyeballs. So they don't even see us. There it is. Well, that truck driver wants to switch over, doesn't know that we're going and going to be there when he switches over, because we're going higher than flow of traffic and inattentional blindness. Not their fault. It's their responsibility to be checking their blind spots and actually actively looking, but we can't expect people to do that. So they switch over because they're stuck. This truck driver, after this, is stuck behind that other truck, wants to get over to the open lane. This happens in merge areas. This happens when you're riding on the highway, 2-lane roads, whatever it is. People want to go into that open lane where they don't have people in front of them. So part of chapter 6 and 7 is that I explain open lane patterns so that when you see something like this, you are prepped and ready for that idiot to come over. What do? We slow down. We let them in. If they start moving over, we swerve hard to the right in this situation so that we don't get hit. We can emergency accelerate out if we need to, if we're side by side. When we get to this position right here, swerve to the right. Swerve to the right. There's no reason to stay in our lane. You need to be prepped for it. So imagine the reaction time and reaction speed you have to have. So when you're riding, you're not paying attention, and now you have to do something. Now you have to do something because it became an active threat. When you could have been back here and been like, that's a relevant threat. I'm prepped and ready for when it becomes an active threat. So now you're ready to swerve. Now you have your escape path. You are prepared to do an action, and that's the whole point of plan. So I teach that in the book that's coming out, instead of having to do it right now. So be prepared. can have all the skill in the world, but if you don't see it coming, it doesn't matter.
After this experience, this rider will definitely be a lot more careful doing
Didn't even
his
look left.
test rides.
Oh, a little bit of a low speed accident. A little bit of a panic. Good job picking it up pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm good.
Slow it down in those turns, everybody. Slow it down in those turns. All right, here we go. We're going through here.
Situation with the rider in
Leaning pretty hard.
hard to keep up with the group, but in the end,
Is he wearing shorts?
well, and the ride ended unpleasantly for him.
Yeah, he's riding in shorts. Not good. He's got a jacket. Oh, it's his buddy that's going to crash. Took the corner a little bit too wide. Going a little too fast into the corner, trying to keep up with the guy in front, which that was a really good U-turn, by the way. Just trying to keep up with the rider in front. There's that U-turn. Okay, very good. And went wide on the corner and crashed. How are you gonna rescue your buddy? Why does he sound like a chipmunk? Okay, here we go. Riding at night, we have hazards of lower visibility. We're weaving in and out of traffic. He's going too fast around the corner. Same thing happened here. Same thing happened here. So guys, when you're out riding, oh geez. When you're out riding with your group of friends and we're just kind of cruising around, I get it. Like the whole old mentality of a lot of this stuff is when I was riding BMX bikes with my friends in a neighborhood. It's like, who can get from one house to the next quickest? It's like, hey, Jeff, I didn't have a friend named Jeff, but it's like, hey, Jeff, we're going to go to your house now. All right. So we're all on bikes. It's like, let's race. And we would race to get to the other friend's house, play video games there. And we would race to the next house and we'd race to the next house. We'd race to the next house. This is the same mentality as me when I was 8 years old, where it's like, hey, let's race to this next bar, or let's race to downtown. Let's race and let's race and let's race and let's get there quick. Let's get there quick. And then the problem here is that we're going faster than the flow of traffic. We have all these different hazards, and you have to have some kind of skill to make a corner at a certain speed. And so we have this where this person did not do that. So how about we change our mentality to let's just get there nice and calm and easy and joke with each other on our Cardo Pack Talk edges. Link in the description for 10% off. Get some Cardo Pack Talks. There's a 10% off discount linked in the description, automatically applied in the cart, or use the code that's in the description. Just chat with each other. Just have fun. Listen to music. Don't do that. All right, here we go. Oh, was this from the earlier crash? This is from the earlier crash. All right, he's not doing good. There's the road rash. See the arm right there? There's road rash on his elbow. Looks like he's missing some flesh, to be quite honest. You see how there's like it's a slight indentation? I think he's missing the dermis, the top layer of his skin. The epidermis. Yeah. Yeah, this is from the earlier video. This is from... Yeah. It's from this one. It's the same guy. Exactly, Smee. Yeah, that's the same that's the same one. Yeah, he's got some damage. He's got some damage. Yeah, he's missing some flesh. All right, here we go. Too close. Maintain a good space. Coming over. Maintain a space cushion.
Forcing the riders out of their way.
Okay, so at this point, if you see somebody doing some road rage stuff, get away from them. All this person has to do is knock you over. Very simple. The car is not going to fall over like a motorcycle. It's called the law of gross tonnage. Okay, so the bigger vehicle is going to win. Okay, so if you try to pick a fight with a sumo wrestler, you're going to lose. It's just as simple as that. Just heavier weight knocking you over. And on a motorcycle, you getting knocked over in traffic is going to be way worse than that car getting a dent. So get away from that road rage, regulate your emotions. All right, we're moving on to this one. Okay, so nighttime riding, great view. Oh, side of the vehicle. Thankfully, he's got some good visibility, some reflectors. Good job with the progressive braking. That was really important. I teach the progressive braking in the book. So if you're a brand new rider, you don't know how to ride from absolutely nothing to wanting to get your license test, we go over braking. I mean, that's one of the first chapters, and we go even more. Emergency braking in the neighborhood and practicing it in the parking lot. Great job with the braking. You notice how he did a quick check to the left? It's like, this car's coming. So we're in a bad spot. So part of planning a ride is locating hazardous situations. Most hazardous situations are intersections and corners. So this is a big hazard right here. So great job with the braking, keeping an eye on this driver. Thankfully, this driver stopped, kind of understood what was happening. We were supposed to yield, right? We were supposed to yield to that. We didn't. We just went through and got kind of stopped. But good job kind of moving up and applying the brakes. So really good with the progressive braking. It is what it is. You got yourself in a bad spot, but you handled it with your emergency skills. Move on and learn from it. There, here we go. Screaming titty. Interesting. How you doing? How you doing, Leet?
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
Hell no, man. What the?
You gotta avoid the hazard.
Regarding your car's extended warranty.
Elad, sudden realization, rev bombers are using progressive barking instead of progressive braking. I like that. I'm gonna steal it. Yeah, watch out for road surface hazards like human beings with a DSLR camera taking a picture of a green car.
God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the?
So moving out of the way is a good idea.
Trying to contact you regarding your car's extended warranty.
All right, here we go.
Behind the hair decided.
I love having the GPS on my handlebars. I use Rockform, so there is a link in the description for that. I'm just pointing out some of the sponsors because they actually do really well, and it's magnetic. I love the magnetic aspect of it. But I have the same thing. So it's like a mini map when you're riding your motorcycle, like in a video game where you have a mini map knowing exactly where you want to go. So you don't have to pay attention to where you have to go. You can focus on riding and then just glance real quick. Just glance.
Now the rider and made a pretty dangerous move.
Okay. So we're kind of merging together. Don't fight for the lane. Switched over. Very good. Switch over to the other lane. I would have done a head check to see if there's anybody there, but good. Oh! What was that? What was that, everybody? Pop quiz. What's the pattern? What's the pattern? OLP, open lane pattern. Once again, guys, this happens all the time. Now, one of the big problems with lane splitting is that open lane pattern comes up on you quick. It's a little merge into you very quick. Okay, and it can get scary. That's why we don't want to go speeding when we're lane splitting, because at the end of the day, if we're lane splitting or lane filtering, we're already getting to where we want to go faster than the flow of traffic. So let's just take it easy. Just be grateful of the fact that you don't have to be stuck. So we're doing this. Well, that guy just straight up went multiple lanes. So it's kind of, I give a little bit to the credit to the rider not seeing this. It's hard, but once you see that really hard swerve, you have to make a hard swerve away too. And we have an escape over there, which is what we should be focused on too a lot. So hard swerve, good job. There's going to be a little bit of a clippage of the leg, but I'll consider this a success. Because it could have been a lot worse. So good job. All right, we're merging. What's this right here? What do you see? What do you think? You want to take a guess? Do you think this person might want to come out into our lane? I don't know. Let's see what happens here. Now, why would he do that? We just talked about it. Just talked about it. Let's go back a little bit. Why would that car want to switch into the open lane? So it's not always going to happen, but you're at least aware that it could happen, so you're prepped for if it could happen. That's the idea. So you're prepared to do something versus it's a surprise. If it's a surprise to you, you're going to panic. If you're aware of it, you know what to do.
An embarrassing mistake, but
All right.
she still decided to share her experience.
Okay,
A panic
downshifting.
reaction and braking too hard while turning, but fortunately it didn't end badly.
Braking too hard while turning. Motostars, you pointed it out. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. We got to pick up the bike now. Here comes, see, this is the panic. It's like, what do I do? 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 You realize the bike's pretty heavy. What is she gonna do? There we go. There we go. No, we switched videos. That right there. Handlebars, grab something next to the rear fender, and then start walking it up. Use your legs, don't use your back. So what happened? So Motostars pointed out turning the handlebars while stopping. So one of the things that you need to learn is that when you're coming to a complete stop, you don't have your handlebars stopped, like turned like this when you stop. You want to be able to have them straight when you stop. Because if you have them turned like this and you stop, it's going to jostle and then fall towards where your handlebars are turned. So she has her handlebars turned right there. It's a little bit slight. It's hard with the camera angle, but she's turning left. So she has her handlebars turned left and applied the brakes hard. You can do it progressively and still have it kind of turned, but she applied it pretty hard because she was probably coming towards the intersection into the intersection. So she's like, I got to stop. And that's when it fell over. But it looks like, let's see, does she have motorcycle pants? It looks like motorcycle pants because you see a little bit of armor in the knees. But you notice, this is why as smart riders we acquire and use personal protective equipment. We fall down on a slow speed incident. Very slow speeds, pretty much it's a stop, but we fell over. What's one of the first things that happens when we start falling over? Natural instinct, natural reaction, we put our hands out. We want to protect our core. The body wants to do that, puts our hands out. Motorcycle gloves, very good, because you're going to rip up your hands if you don't. And there's some padding on motorcycle gloves, so hopefully it's not going to break a wrist or cause any problems. But look at the knee. Boom. Imagine breaking your patella. Imagine breaking or damaging your knee so bad that you can't even lift the bike up or you can't even ride anymore and you have to go to the hospital. So those motorcycle pants just paid for themselves right there. Just paid for themselves. So there's the left knee hitting. Oh, thankfully she didn't hit the other knee. Or did she? Yep, there it is. Wear some gear, everybody, and let's go ahead and get another thumbnail.
Fortunately, it didn't end badly.
And then lifting the bike up. And I wanted to point out the panic. So the panic here. So if you don't know how, or if you don't know what's happening, you start to like, So now imagine after a crash, you're trying to help somebody, like they're bleeding or they're doing something like that. And you're like, I don't have the training. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm panicking. Right? So this is why it's so important to get that training. So important to get it, take the stop to bleed class. That's why it's so important to practice your slow speed maneuvers so you don't panic when you're on the bike. It's so important to understand what is going on and how to lift the bike. Because like if she was practicing lifting the bike or knew how to lift the bike, which she did towards the end, you immediately go to that. So turn off the bike, boom, lift it up. So right here, watch the panic. Yeah. Honestly, probably her first time ever falling. That's why it's a panic. Because like if you've fallen a few times, you're like, oh, just got to pick it up. All right, here we go. Riding around, having some fun. Nice little, I like dual sport helmets. I really do. The visor helps out so much. They're comfy, big vision. I like them way better than sport bike helmets. Okay, they're moving over. Okay, you rolled off the throttle. You moved off in a new position for safety. Very good. They moved back. Not a big deal. The Prius was probably moving. I don't know if it's Yaris or Prius or whatever. Probably moved over because the car behind him, he's in the fast lane, switched over, didn't see us. Now, why? Let's just try to understand the driver. We don't have to make excuses for the driver. That's not what this is. We can understand why the driver did it. It's not an excuse. Why do you think that driver switched over? One, yeah, he's in the fast lane, the car behind him. Why did he not see us? Why did he not see us? The whole point of this is to understand road behavior, driver behavior, so that we can do something about it. Okay, look at the shadow. Look at the shadow for us. Look at the shadow. Now imagine, let's say this car driver quite literally looked into the mirror and checked the blind spot and didn't see us. Like it's not an unintentional blindness thing. Let's say they actually actively looked for somebody. That sun is in their eyeballs. That sun's in their eyeballs. So whenever I see like, hey, I got a shadow, like really long shadow in front of me, it's just an extra factor. It's just a little extra factor. I'm thinking in my head, oh, I can understand why they did that. I can understand why he switched over. Oh, and there's a car there. I can understand why he did that. Thankfully, he finally saw me. I moved over to a better position. I'm safe. Everything's fine. It makes it to where I don't get freaking pissed off and do stuff like this.
So give it to him.
I won't get pissed off.
Come on, dog. What's up?
Because I won't be like, this guy, switched into my lane to try to kill me. I'm not going to get pissed off. I'm like, oh, I understand. Shouldn't have done it. Not an excuse. I understand. I got myself safe. We're all good. So it helps out with the emotional regulation. Understanding why somebody does something helps out. But setting boundaries and protecting yourself is what's going to keep you safe. Mentally, emotionally, physically. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Good swerve. All right, here we go. Motostars, we have a little bit of an editing problem. You forgot the bottom layer. I think that either needed to be on the front, so we have some context, or I think that looks a little bit like the intro. So we messed up a little bit on the editing. Not a big deal. It's a lot of clips. You got a lot of stuff going on. I get it as an editor myself. I edit all my videos. Yeah, it looks like the intro. All right, here we go.
We're just going.
Moving on.
We're literally just going. Don't ask me what directions are, because we're just going.
They're talking to each other on their Cardo Pack Talks. How do you rescue somebody?
Wait, we gotta like check on them.
So part of the new book, this is just the prototype. It's being printed out right now. It's to get everybody to start riding. And links in the description for the pre-order. You get 10% off as a pre-order bonus, plus a bunch of extras. The second book that I'm working on is going to be a book that's going to be heavily focused on, physical fitness and how to rescue, common riding scenarios, so that, let's say I'm the motorcycle rider right here, and I have all this knowledge of how to rescue somebody and how to ride and how to prepare and how to plan and all this other stuff. And I go into a group ride and nobody else knows how to do it. Nobody knows how to rescue. Brand new rider barely understands the plan, which is fine. But the thing is, it's unsafe. Like if I crash, who's going to help me? And one of the things here is that, hey, we just witnessed a car crash. I'm going to help out this one person, but I have no help because nobody knows how to rescue. Now I'm having to direct people on what to do, when in reality, what I would like to have is a whole group of people, the Smart Rider crew, a whole group of people knowing how to rescue somebody. So we have an army of people to help out this car crash and set up a perimeter. And everyone wants to fight to call 911. Everyone has a trauma kit, so they want to put on a tourniquet on that leg. Don't do it around the neck. Don't do that. But they want to help. And I feel like we're like an army of helpers, an army of Smart Rider crew members that can just solve so many problems while we're out riding if something happens. That's where I'm getting at. In the first book, Riding Smart, It's a complete motorcycle guide on how to ride for beginners from absolutely nothing to getting your license, and I'm trying to get you started there. Check it out. Link in the description for a pre-order on that.
Wait,
Books will be out by the end of the year, definitely.
Hold on.
So let's go help. Let's go do it.
Yo. Hon, I gotta make sure they're okay.
All right, so that's a heavy impact. I don't see any spidering on the windshield. So for those of you that with medical knowledge, I'm gonna just do that. So do some crazy stuff, like some terms. No spidering on the windshield. I'm not gonna explain myself. No spidering on the windshield. That's good.
Are you guys
Airbag
okay?
deployment. We have seatbelts. That's very good. Okay. No compartment intrusion.
Okay.
Dash is still
Take your time
intact.
now. You need any help?
Okay. No visible damage. Conscious and alert.
You gotta
Responding
sit down somewhere if you have to.
to questions.
Wild.
The one that's going to be in the most pain.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
come
even
on, I
know
want to
what
see the
just happened,
rest.
dude.
No. Motostars with the end screens. I want to see the rest. The other person, the other car looked. Let's see the actual accident. Okay, so both impacts on the front. Okay, I thought it was a T-bone, but it's a. Okay, so.
What?
Yeah, okay.
Yo. Hon, I gotta make sure they're okay. Are you guys okay? Are y'all good?
All right, so you see how every motorcycle rider is in this lane and the incident is directly in front? Okay, you see that? Okay, so directly in front in this lane, everyone leave your motorcycles right here. Because if a car isn't paying attention and we're helping out and we like moved all our stuff, they can hit us. So if they hit all our bikes, we get all new bikes. But it will hopefully slow down or stop anybody from hitting us when we're trying to help. I want to see the incident again.
Wait, don't ask me what directions are because we're just going.
Yeah, left turner into a straight person. Okay. That could easily be a motorcyclist hitting a left turner. Oh yeah, you're right. We can hide. Oh, well, that's the end of the video. We're not gonna watch that one. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you check out the links in the description for all the stuff I said and grab yourself a donut. Hopefully you ride safe, be safe, and I'll see you guys on the next live stream.